How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to episode 39 of Star Wars Year by Podcast, a Star Wars history podcast where me and my buddy Steele from Steele Wars go through the Star Wars Year by Podcast book, page by page, year by year, and go on tangents. That seems to be the main thing, tangents.
Tango.
Mm-hmm.
How you doing, everyone? Hey to our patrons that have enjoyed this is the 39th enjoyment, I guess. So what's up to the and especially the sickos?
Yes, the neens that like to follow along in the book.
If you're new to this year by podcast show, there are some sickos out there that get the book out, get the YouTube screen out, or even the big screen television.
That's the way I would like to do it.
Hey, I'll tell you something that this little thing that Jackie finds adorable.
Okay.
I get so excited when I see someone loading up a big TV in their car.
Oh, yeah, because you know they're about to just have the best day once they get it home.
New TV day.
Yeah, new TV day is sick.
Oh,
I see that too, and I go, good for you. Good for you.
It can be a test of courage.
Oh, yeah.
And patience.
Mm-hmm.
I've never wall mounted a television because
it makes me nervous.
I don't need that in my life.
No, I don't need to be laying in bed and hear plaster cracking and my TV falling on its face, you know?
It's an expensive and disappointing way to find out you're not good at something.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I'm always
TV
the bench.
stand all day.
Stand up. Stand with me, bro.
All
right, let's get to it. We're in 1990.
Oh,
A New Dawn.
Sorry, just to cut in. Since this is divisible by 3, this is available to everybody, not just the patrons.
True that. Hey, everyone. So very exciting. We just got through the tail end of the 80s, and you know, there was some, you know, little spicy things in the world of maybe like Disney parks and that sort of thing.
The Game Boy?
You know, that Star Wars, though. I don't believe there was a Star Wars game on the Game Boy Hawes, but it was.
Oh, yeah, there was.
Was there?
Oh, yeah, buddy. Oh yeah.
All right, name it.
So there's a few. There was Star Wars. There's Empire Strikes Back. There was Star Wars Flight of the Millennium Falcon, I believe, was one of them. There was Star Wars Trilogy. There was... That might be about it.
Okay.
Because by the time the prequels came out...
You want to plug your video game podcast now, or what? Is this
High Potion. Hey, man, you asked. You asked if there was a Star Wars video game on the Game Boy.
That's what makes it all the more painful.
Yep. You did this to yourself, Steele.
But last week or the week before when we did the episode, I was going to make a sort of just about birth but the contrast, the conceiving of the new era of Star Wars began or occurred when Timothy Zahn got a phone call.
It sure did. Ending out the 80s.
Man, so exciting. My skin just shivers so much it almost goes blue. You know what I'm saying?
We might, I mean, just a few episodes before we get to that book, right?
It's a couple,
yeah.
I think. We'll find out. 1990, Hawes. Have you found your book as yet?
No, sir. I might go look behind my TV, though.
That's a very funny reference. A pre-show story I shared.
1990. You want to give me a zoom in and I'll kick this off?
Oh, no, I can do it because I don't have a zoom in of this, I don't think.
Fair enough.
I actually, no, I do. There we go. Do you want me to do it? It's a bit curvy. I'll do it.
All right.
Yeah, 1990. Apart from a new venue for Star Tours and a few commemorative items for the 10th anniversary of The Empire Strikes Back, Star Wars is a thing of the past to the general public by 1990. However, comments by George Lucas and Irving Kershner in the Lucasfilm Fan Club magazine encourage the probability, not just the possibility, of more Star Wars movies. While some fans are wondering what to do with their Star Wars toys, others are still avidly collecting in the shadows, Hawes.
Mm-hmm. Shadow collectors.
Just collating what soon will be worth thousands of tens of thousands.
Mm-hmm.
You know Steve Sansweet, right?
Yes, sir.
You know he got like the big chunks of his collection through divorce.
Like some dude was getting his divorce and had to sell off his Star Wars stuff?
Yeah, like a few of like the big collectors, which kind of makes sense when you think about it, right? Mm-hmm. The big collectors in the late 80s.
Mm-hmm. I'm starting to put the pieces together here in my head, and it totally makes sense.
And yeah, so we like I think a big chunk of his like figures and stuff came from the sad the end of romance.
Every time I come across a tour of Rancho Obi-Wan video on YouTube that I haven't seen yet, I watch it every time. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever watched one.
Well, you've been there, right? So that makes a difference.
There is a curtain.
I've heard about what's behind the curtain.
Yeah, that you have to. It's cameras down.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's Sansweet After Dark.
I bet you he gets giddy every time it comes to that part of the tour.
I actually, speaking of such, I did see a. I guess shouldn't be surprised, but Baby Yoda has been bongified on Melrose Avenue.
Huh. I guess it doesn't surprise me all that much, right? I've seen a lot of old Yoda devices of such type. I don't know.
I bet you have, Hawes. I bet you have.
Mm-hmm. And you would be right.
Now, the quote to kick off the decade. Now, I don't remember this quote, but I probably heard this quote.
Mm-hmm.
And I know the emotion I felt when I would have heard this quote. Like I can project back, right? Now, the quote is from Mark Hamill. Now people can stop asking. They can just come and ride Star Tours all day long. Mark Hamill on the fans who keep asking him when the next Star Wars movie will be released. Now, what emotions would you project that young Hawes would feel upon hearing that quote?
Young Hall's 1990 had been like, great, Mark, how am I supposed to get to Star Tours? I'm 7. That doesn't help me out at all, man. Get back in front of the camera and make some more of these movies. I would have been disappointed.
It's like, bro, it's a ride.
Yeah, it's a ride.
Hey, when will the next Star Wars film be released? Eggs are white. All right, great, cool.
Sick, but what about that movie I just asked you about?
Yeah, I didn't ask about the ride. I said movie. I guess, I don't know. Hamill lives a pretty wild life.
Yeah.
And maybe life is a movie to Mark Hamill.
I wonder if this is around the time he would have been in that movie Guyver. Have you ever seen that movie he's in?
Oh, dude. I think that was a bit later, but
yeah,
that is part of like the desperation just to get a little bit of Star Wars juice.
Mm-hmm.
I remember barren
catching, because
barren media like desert.
I can't remember if Guyver is based off of an anime or a manga, but its origin is from Japan, right? It's a franchise over there. And then they did like an American movie where Mark Hamill plays the main character. And think I must have caught the last 20 or 30 minutes on the Sci-Fi Channel as a kid. And I was like, well, I have to see this whole thing. I'm going, Dad, can we go to the video store? I have to see if they have this. I have to watch this.
Wing Commander.
Oh, the video games, when he was in the video games, that was the juice right there. Ooh.
Oh man, I remember just like I've got to I wish I had a computer. I just want to hear him talk in space.
Mm-hmm.
But he was in the movie too, yeah.
I don't know that he might have had a cameo in the Wing Commander movie. The main star Wing Commander was Freddie Prinze Jr. and Matthew Lillard.
Lillard. Mm-hmm. I've been watching a bit of Lillard lately.
Oh, really? What's he doing? What's old Lillard up to?
Well, nothing. But oh my God, ironically, in 1990, he was hosting Skate TV on Nickelodeon.
Oh, okay. So
and
that's pre-Scream by quite a bit.
Oh, very many things for Matthew Lillard. But he's not a skateboarder. And it shows.
Oh, so he's not just hosting; they're trying to get him to do.
No. But just he's trying to talk the talk.
Right? Yeah,
he gets.
It'd be like me talking about skating, only having played Tony Hawk.
No, with far more unearned confidence. Hawes.
Fair enough. Let me ask you, since you brought skating up, are you familiar with a skater by the name of Aaron Cairo? Is that how you say his name?
Yes.
Is he a good dude, decent skater?
I would say, to my mind, no on both.
Oh, what happened?
Well, he's the he produces and is very successful at producing how-to skateboard and sort of meme-ish YouTube content for young people.
Oh.
And he's also just been promoted to the head of San Francisco's Scientology church.
That's all I needed to know. You want to know why I asked this, Steele, is because in my window shopping online, I came across a Final Fantasy skateboard deck that's that dude. And I was like, oh, that's neat. I need to ask Steele about that.
Well, I'm glad you did.
Guess what's going off the watch list on eBay?
All right. Let's hit this one, Hawes. Right up your alley as well.
Right up my alley. January 11th. Lucasfilm president Doug Norby announces that Lucasfilm Ltd. has consolidated 9 of its business units under a new subsidiary named named LucasArts Entertainment. The new organization is made up of Industrial Light and Magic, the THX Group, LucasArts Licensing, the Skywalker Group, LucasArts Attractions, LucasArts Luminaire, which later became Pixar, Lucasfilm Commercial Productions, Lucasfilm Games, and Lucasfilm Learning Systems.
You know why they did this? Because George Lucas's wallet had just grown so thick with all these different business cards.
They said, let's cut it down to a nice 10 or however many that is that they still have left.
Well, every time he meets like a possible business partner, like, you know, like a quarter of a tree gets demolished.
Yeah.
So, Doug Norby is the early 90s.
The way he looks.
Get that Norby look. He's just Norbying on.
Big collar, glasses.
And a grin that just doesn't look that sincere.
The early LucasArts logo didn't last long and was soon supplanted by the popular gold guy. That's interesting. I've never seen that logo, the one that's there. It's not as good as Gold Guy.
Well, that LucasArts with sort of a, I don't know what to call that sort of, I do all this stuff, but I don't know what it's called. But it is, it's just like a L made out of a square sort of thing with a fade. And then like an eclipse sort of highlighting the L. But anyways, as much as that gold guy logo is just like 90s AF, this LucasArts logo is corporate tech 80s.
Yep, it sure is.
Oh,
You'd see that in the catalog next to the IBM logo and stuff.
you'd see it in a TV show for a made-up tech firm. Because it's not that great a logo.
It's not.
Hey, are you aware of the Goodwill logo?
The Goodwill, like a Goodwill thrift store type of place?
Yeah, with the happy face.
No, I'm not.
Maybe it's maybe it's a Californian thing. But anyway, it is one of the great logos of all time.
Oh.
It's like a half face, and you think that's the logo, but when you look at the colors like inverted, it makes a G.
I have seen this logo. I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, really good design.
Oh, there's a Goodwill around the corner. And because we're in a top area, obviously. And every day I drive past it twice, and I'm always like,
good
to
logo.
design a logo that good one day. Oof. Petco good logo as well. How the ears sort of interlock, and oof.
That's a good logo too.
That's what I do with my spare time, Hawes, in LA traffic.
That's cool, buddy. I'm a fan of logos as it is, so I relate on that.
Well, which is why I can't resist a chance to go on about it. I cannot stand that Disney Plus Star Wars logo.
I don't like it either. With the new
modernization
font,
of
the yeah, and it's no good. Just do the regular Star Wars logo. Ugh. I don't like it either. You've got a good logo. Pepsi's got a good logo.
Oh, I saw an old school Pepsi can on the weekend, and I pointed, this is so bad. I pointed it out to Jackie and went, oh, I said, look at that Pepsi can. That's a sweet can.
Look, this is bad, Steele. We may need to get on to talking about Star Tours. This is getting a little weird at this point.
You know what? When I go to take the photos of this before the show, I always have this weird of like deja vu of like, wait, have we done? I think we've done this chapter, because every chapter
has talked about Star Wars for like Star Tours in like 10 pages. Yeah.
So anyway, January 13th, Star Tours. Walt Disney World's new Disney MGM theme park celebrates the grand opening of the third Star Tours attraction. Like the Tokyo attraction, the Disney World version features 6 simulators, but its entrance is decorated by an Ewok village. Dominated by a 10.5 35-foot at 8080 Walker. The grand opening special guests include Lucas, Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and Anthony Daniels. Says Disney CEO Michael Eisner, Walt Disney is not here anymore, and none of us pretend. What the hell? Walt Disney is not here anymore, and none of us pretend to be as creative as he was. Today, it is imperative that we make relationships with people like George Lucas. Otherwise, we will not move forward. Very draconian way to spin it.
To celebrate the opening. Look, guys, we got a problem here at Disney. Disney's dead, and none of us are as smart as that guy. So listen, we made friends with George Lucas. You guys go out there and find some other friends for us.
Oh, my stars. I think my eyebrows has got a bit singed. Asked during a press conference when the next Star Wars film will be made, Lucas answers 5 or 6 years.
Off by about 3 years.
Yeah.
But unless you consider the special editions.
No.
It's not a new movie.
That's not going to hold up in the court of nerd. Mm-mm. And in other news, Nelson Mandela is released after 27 years.
Good for him.
To this news of ending new Star Wars films. have you bore witness to Florida's ode to Bright Tree Village?
Never been. Gotta go, but I've never been.
We have to do this. I'm sure we've said it before. I've got the footage of me seeing it for the first time.
Yeah, because you would have gotten that footage back when you got the one where we were looking at the museum exhibit.
Yeah,
you went to, right?
Same trip.
Yeah,
West
you gotta
North
check
Face.
that out.
You go around a corner, Hawes. There's this Ewok village being ruthlessly attacked by a full-size AT-AT. And that bad boy, in the height of summer, actually it wasn't even summer, it was February, in Florida though, was pounding water out of its chin-chin guns.
So it just constantly sprays water out of its guns?
Every 30 seconds.
Okay. And you can get blasted by it?
I think by the time it hits the ground, it's
mostly gone, like it's dissipated.
Yeah, like no one's changing t-shirts.
Okay.
You know, the Empire's aim and all that sort of good stuff.
Makes sense.
Canon.
Immersive.
So immersive. But yet when I like cabled up to it, they didn't like that.
Speaking of cables, Steele, I don't know that I have gotten more feedback on something I said on a podcast than when I said that Luke Skywalker had the grappling hook on him the whole time in A New Hope.
Really?
Yeah, bro. People like my buddy Jeff, who I hang out with in Discord on the weekend, like even he hit me up and I didn't even realize he listened to like the Star Wars stuff that closely. He was like, yeah, that's his. That's Luke's. I was like, thank you. This is
what was that? Was that on the May the 4th thing?
It was. It was. And I've been getting a lot of messages about it.
But you admit it's the Stormtroopers grappling hook. We zoomed in. It came out of the belt. Dude, we zoomed in.
I mean, listen, based on the feedback that I got, I have no choice but to agree that it was on the Stormtrooper's belt. That came from the Stormtrooper. I have no choice. My hands are tied.
What about just the visual of seeing it come out of the...
See, I don't know that he didn't like have the device on him and transfer it into his new Stormtrooper belt. But yeah, I've been getting a lot.
Yeah, it will continue.
Yeah, I think it might.
Good gosh. Man.
Because my buddy Jeff was like, it's the same one he uses in Empire Strikes Back to get up to the AT. And I was like, no, that's not correct. He's using the tow gun from the back of the snowspeeder for that. Right? Doesn't he pull
that's like a massive...
Yeah, it's a completely different device.
That's like a t-shirt shooter or something.
Oh, that would be sick to have a t-shirt cannon.
I've never been into it.
You don't think it would be fun to fire off a t-shirt cannon just once? That's a no. That's fair.
No, I feel like it's been ruined by other people.
Okay. Well, fair.
Hey, I just included this next one just as proof to myself of something. Because remember like a couple years ago, and it's like Dave Filoni's been nominated for a Saturn Award. And it's just like, yeah, what's that? Yeah. Is that the first ever Montgomery Burns outstanding achievement in excellence? Like, it's just like, I've never, like...
You had never heard of it before, Dave Filoni?
No.
Oh, yeah, I was familiar with the Saturn Awards.
Well, maybe I hadn't. It's just like drifted out of my...
Yeah, right.
Or the name, like it was in Star Wars Insider, and I just went... Bleh.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Saturn Award, January 21st, the Saturn Award for Best Special Effects is awarded to Ken Ralston and ILM for Back to the Future 2.
Great special effects in that one.
Oh yeah. Oh, Future.
Mm.
Oh, Future Hill Valley. I actually got to go to Hill Valley in the last 6 months. Towards the end of our Universal pass ran out. So we don't get to go anymore because we went so much during the year. It was like, well, we need a break.
Right.
To revalue it all up. But on one day on the tour, it doesn't normally go through there, but because I think they were filming maybe American Ninja Warriors finale or something elsewhere on the tour, we went through
the Hill Valley lot.
Hill Valley, yeah.
That's cool. Was it Hill Valley from the 50s or from the future?
Just from No Time.
Oh, okay. Clock Tower and stuff.
Anywhere USA.
Okay.
Like not even old, just like nothing, no definable era. But it was very, very exciting. So there you go.
That's cool.
That Universal tour, can't recommend it enough. Been on it at least 10 times.
Yeah, it looks neat. Peter and Kitra over on, what's their channel? Ordinary Adventure have done a video on that tour a couple of times. It looks neat.
I once lived on the same street as them.
I know.
Ah.
They got good dogs. They got cute dogs.
Ruff, ruff.
Ruff, ruff. Can't use my soundboard on this one, but I'll be the soundboard.
Now this is a great one. Let's head to my media viewing. We're talking about burgers in Russia, and my media viewing is so Russian centric of late because I watch the Americans.
Right, and then For All Mankind.
Yeah, because in the Americans, it's the fictionalized story, the fictionalized true story of Russian agents embedded in America that get married and have families and stuff, starring Felicity herself, Kerry Russell, Zori Bliss, and man, she knows how to kill someone with the neck and the she in this series, she like does some just flinch-worthy kills.
She gets up to some shenanigans in that show for sure.
And then For All Mankind, our current show, which we've actually caught up on, we're going to wait for new episodes and a prequel series. But yeah, they're in the space race, the fictionalized space race to Mars with Russia, and there's a lot of spies and intrigue, and that show horse. Anyway,
I gotta check it out. I just finished Fallout, which I think you should watch, buddy.
It sounds a bit much for me.
I think you would. It's the Westworld guy. I think you would dig it.
All right. I heard people talking about it and like on a podcast, and it just seemed like I'm not into like high violence.
Okay, maybe not then. Fair enough.
And I'm someone that's like you're guilty before you're innocent with me in television shows and me watching them. Like
I think you should still give it a shot because there is some violence in it, but that's hardly the whole point of the show. You know what I mean?
Well, they had a good promotion down the street. They turned a bus shelter
into like a fallout shelter.
Yeah,
that's sick.
But my son Harrison was very excited by this, right? And because it's just near the Goodwill, so we drove past it twice a day. And I said, okay, well, after school, we'll drop the car home and we'll walk down and visit the fallout shelter. And he had talked about how, because there was a screen and stuff and all buttons, and he's like, oh, you can press a button and play a game. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think you'll be able to press any of the buttons, but we'll go see. And he was like in his head.
Absolutely, we can press.
He was
those
talking
buttons.
about doors opening up and things being underneath. But at the end of the day, he at least expected a button to press. No buttons to speak of. It's all just stuck on painted plastic and stuff. Good, it's good for a bus shelter, but not good for his imagination. So we get home, and Jackie goes, "Oh, how was the fallout shelter?" It was pretty disappointing.
Dude, that's awesome. That is awesome. What a review. Old Ben Linus from Lost is in Fallout.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Got to get him in Star Wars.
Oh, please. There's several of those actors I'd like to see them get in Star Wars.
All right, hit me with the burgers in Russia, Hawes.
January 31st, the first McDonald's in Russia opens in Moscow. The restaurant breaks McDonald's world record for the most customers served on an opening day. You can't tell us that and not give us the number.
Could this be a backdoor segment of Carl's
Corner? Oh, I've been waiting. Look at him. Look at him.
Now, to backtrack for a segment we used to have where I used to tell, because we all love a McDonald's news item.
Mm-hmm.
And I eventually ran out. I ran dry. But I used to tell stories of this, like, Anakin Skywalker. Oh, no, more of a, maybe a Yoda / Chewbacca of burger cooking. That was Carl, who was the, man, that guy could spin some buns. Oof. But, so I was thinking this news item, and I was like, okay, it doesn't say how many burgers they pumped out, right?
Right.
But it was that day, it was the busiest McDonald's ever.
Right.
Imagine working out the back.
Oh my God.
Like, we've got to look for documentary footage of this, right?
Oh yeah.
Because just the visual, like, is it chaos or is it like disturbingly like
calm and just solemnly making
cooking burgers? Like,
there has to be news items and stuff on this for sure.
Because listen up, Hawes. Around this time, actually, Steele Saunders was previously a crew member of the month at Rosebud McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
And I did head up the team of brekkie boys that we called ourselves. The and that was back in the day when like boys worked the kitchen and the girls worked the counter.
Right.
Which is pretty crazy in retrospect. At the time, no one thought anything of it.
Right. Nope. Guys in the back, ladies up front.
I tell you what, though, thinking back, that at least 50% of the staff at the McDonald's in 1990, of the males that did work the front counter, like, they would go on to, like, their sexuality would not be heterosexual.
Huh. It's probably just because they're pleasant to talk to and,
yes,
deal with at the counter and stuff, instead of someone like me that's like, bro, we don't sell Whoppers. You're at the wrong place. What do you want?
But how's this, right? It's like the human resources department of McDonald's in the early 90s, their gaydar was
off the charts.
50% success rate.
So you would have been working around this time at McDonald's?
Yes.
Okay, I'm fascinated. I might have already asked you this question, but I have to re-up the knowledge. What was the breakfast menu in Australia in 1990 at McDonald's?
So back to my story.
Mm-hmm.
Is our Rosebud McDonald's, because it was in a tourist area, on New Year's Day was the busiest McDonald's in Australia.
Oh, because it was in like a vacation area.
Yeah.
Oh. Oof.
And bro, I must have told you this before. They brought in egg poachers from neighboring McDonald's.
Oh, like the
normally
egg cups that you put on the flat top?
Yeah, normally you'd have, maybe you'd have 4, but normally during the year you'd have out 2 that did 6 each at a time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And normally you're just doing 6. Sometimes you're only doing 3, in the early hours. And because this was back when the bins had burgers. you could get in and out in 90 seconds.
Oh yeah, because people be making burgers and putting them down the little slide, and they'd sit under the,
and they could only
heat
sit there
lamp.
for 10 minutes.
Yeah,
and then you had to throw them out. So, which is just amazingly wasteful.
Yeah, you know where those 10-minute burgers got thrown out to?
Oh, bro.
Me, buddy, me.
Yeah, me too. My friend, I won't name names, but he would set up a little breakfast area in one of the pigeonholes in the change room, and then put a cool room sweater in front of it. Just go back and have snacks.
Nice.
But anyways, yeah, and I was the egg cracker. I'm an extremely good egg cracker horse. Like, because...
Yeah.
And I was running like 24 eggs at a time. I think it was 24, which is just a lot of eggs to be in control of.
Yeah, and that's taken up a lot of the flat top.
And I remember after that shift, getting outside and just like, all my eyebrows and hair, just egg yolk and all dry. Because I was just like, shh. And, the way I was cracking it was a thing of beauty. There should have been a news report on that.
There should have. I agree. Oh, do you know what I would give to find a news report from 1990 in Rosebud, Australia about the busiest McDonald's in Australia, and it's just Steele going hard in the paint, cracking eggs?
I would have looked like General Grievous. Like I had extra arms going that fast. But to answer your question about McDonald's breakfast at that era, now you guys all call them McGrills or something like.
Well, so there's
McGriddle.
McGriddle. Now that is the one that's like the pancake that has as a bun. It's like a pancake with syrup in it, and then there's the stuff in the middle, like whatever.
No, but there's another one. What do you just call a bacon and egg?
Bacon, egg, and cheese.
Yeah, but what is it?
Biscuit.
That's what you call it, you freaks. So we call that a McMuffin.
Yeah, but now that's the question I wanted to ask. Was yours on an English muffin?
Yes.
Okay, so an English
and I'd
muffin
have to
and
split them.
Yeah,
put them in the toaster.
An English muffin is a different item than an American breakfast biscuit. They're a different type of pastry or baked good. So
yeah, if you're in Australia and you ask for a breakfast biscuit,
I would never.
They'd just be like, they think you're asking for a cookie that's somehow breakfast related, which I guess they do sell them in a manner of speaking.
So on the menu at Australian McDonald's in 1990, Egg McMuffin.
Okay. English muffin.
Okay.
Right? Plain with butter. Yeah. Egg McMuffin.
Same thing, but with egg.
Oh, actually, sorry. English muffin, bacon and egg McMuffin.
Okay.
With the cheese as well. Sausage and egg McMuffin.
Uh-huh.
There may have been a sausage muffin as well, but I can't remember.
With no egg or cheese?
Yeah, or maybe with one bit of cheese. There's definitely one with the egg. That was the sausage and egg McMuffin. But the sausage never... that was not an edible source of food for me. So okay. I was bacon and egg all the way.
That me too, man.
And then
to this day I still am.
You had your hash browns, and then you had your hotcakes.
Okay.
And then you're done. That's it.
So the only thing you guys would have been missing, I would think, from an American McDonald's at this point is the same thing, but biscuits. Like we would have had all the McMuffin, the English muffin stuff, but you would also had biscuits.
Yeah, but you also have the eggs that are like
folded.
Yes.
Yeah. Now those.
And we had scrambled eggs. We had the
big breakfast.
The big breakfast. Yeah.
Oh man, getting a McDonald's big breakfast on a Saturday morning as a kid. Ooh.
Well, see, I never liked the sausage, so the big breakfast was like that.
Fair enough.
But anyway, the in the like the ratio of how things get ordered, the scrambled egg meals, you wouldn't do too many of them, and you'd rarely have them in the bin, like in the
heat lamps.
Bin. I think it was called the bin. But no, it couldn't have been called the bin because the bin was called the bin. Anyway. The they weren't ordered very often. So I remember when someone would order a big breakfast, quite often you'd look out to see, like,
see who
breakfast.
it was.
Yeah, like, who's this, like,
high roller?
Optimus Prime's just rolled in, and you had to, like, on the scramble on the good times. Enjoyed that. Love being a brekkie boy. Bloody great. Good times.
So in my collection of stuff that came from my parents' house, there's a box that has maybe 20 different McDonald's name tags in there, different style of them, and I'm looking for the birdie one. That's what I'm keeping my eye out for.
I wish I still had my employee of the month.
Oh,
like the little badge.
Yeah,
I've got the photo, not the original. Or maybe I do have the original. But anyway, I've got a digital version of it. But and my little brekkie boy birdie. No, it was birdie.
Yeah,
that was like, if you were like, that was like, you're the Top Gun of breakfast.
Yeah, that's like if you got hired as a wing commander, right? That's yeah.
Man, I had some rough mornings making those McMuffins.
I bet, buddy.
Dude.
Coffee on the menu in Australia McDonald's? I would imagine. I don't know these things, man.
Coffee on the menu.
Yeah, right? Is that a yes or a no? I don't understand. Probably a yes. Orange juice?
Probably. Yeah. I don't know what sort of backwater you think I sprang from.
No, it's not a backwater at all. You guys don't have
coffee. Trust me, if I'm anywhere that does not have coffee,
That's fair.
I'm like going, what is this backwater? What am
I quit.
Anyway, let's lighten the mood with the copyright infringement. Would you like to do this one, Hawes?
Yes, sir. January 18th. The Los Angeles Times reports on a Calgary writer who has accused Lucas of stealing the name and concept for the Ewoks. Lucas responds that he created the Ewoks in his original 1974 draft of The Star Wars and came up with the name by reversing the syllables of the character he called a Wookiee and rhyming it with the Northern Californian Indian tribe known as the Miwok.
How about that concept art?
Whew. We really lucked out that that's not what showed up on the screen in Return of the Jedi.
Listen, I can guarantee Christmas 83, when I've got a choice of picking between a Kenner 20-inch plush Ewok or an Inspector Gadget that had all the gadgets, like a 12-inch.
Inspector Gadget.
Bro, there is that. If you're just watching the or listening to the podcast, watching nothing, maybe you're watching the road, which is a great idea. It's like you had an Ewok toy, you ripped off the arms and legs and stuck on like horse parts.
Yeah.
And then drew a funny face.
And
gave it some goggles.
Yeah, it's got goggles.
Which is also against the primitive nature of the Ewok.
Mm-hmm.
But I love this. I wonder if this factoid, it is a classic Star Wars fan factoid.
Mm-hmm.
That like the Wookiees were gonna like be on it, the ones that help. But then it's established that they're a technological race because he still wanted to put them in, even though that part of them. So yeah, when he got to the end that he had in his head, we'll cut him in half and we'll do it back. Like that's like a classic factoid. Like that's up there, right? And I'm thinking that must have been out. Like, did I read that in my Return of the Jedi trivia poster book?
Yeah, that has to have been.
Or was this right? What this reminds me of, Hawes, and you're not ready for this tangent.
Uh-oh, here we go.
But there's this episode of Happy Days, right?
Okay.
Where Arthur Fonzarelli, this is before he becomes a teacher, and you get how Fonz got like gentrified towards the end.
Mm-hmm. Started jumping stuff. Mm-hmm.
Bro, that was his wild side. But anyways, he sort of became friends. Like, I don't know, he really did he really became a man of the people. Like, I remember when Richie used to be intimidated by the Fonz.
Oh yeah, yeah. Early on, I guess they really needed him to stick around when Ron Howard left the show, right? Because he left the show a couple of years before it ended.
I think he got conscripted.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But anyways, right, he was during his wild years, he was given jury duty, right? And the case was this guy accused of driving past a lady in a shopping center on a motorbike and stealing her purse, right? And all the evidence was just really bad for him, but he said he was innocent. And then Fonzie realizes towards the end that he's left-handed or something. And so, or the bike is his motorbike, the other guy's motorbike, because the other guy did have a motorbike.
Uh-huh.
And he's left-handed. So the gears are the other way around on the motorbike handles. And so for him to reach out with his hand, he wouldn't be able to have his hand on the accelerator.
Which would have made the bike stop.
Yeah, so it's sort of like impossible what happened because the bike was switched. So that was evidence that it definitely wasn't this guy. And he got off because Fonz, like because they all blew off Fonzie because he's, are you just a bikie, whatever.
Uh-huh.
But in the end, it was Fonz that in the jury room.
Way to go, Henry Winkler. Look at you.
You got to love Henry Winkler.
Yeah.
Just he's the gold standard. I hope.
Oh,
got to set
yeah,
a Google alert.
Yeah. Hold up.
Yeah. So I would I love that there's this whole thing of like, well, we got it from here and here and here.
Yeah, like they have concept art, which a lot of it's dated. I'm pretty sure that's easy enough to.
They've got notes on yellow legal pad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So let me ask you. So I want to look more into this because I want to know where supposedly this guy is saying George Lucas stole that concept from. Was it a book? You know what I mean?
His mind.
Yeah, mind crime.
Ewoks. Stealing the name as well. That's a big call.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This one's just off the wall. April. Lucas versus Luke. April 20. Entertainment Weekly reports on a $300 million trademark infringement lawsuit filed by Lucasfilm against Luke Skywalker, aka Luther Campbell, the leader of the controversial Florida rap group 2 Live Crew. Lucasfilm's attorney says, it may be like the whitest comment ever.
Uh-oh.
No. Just the confusion could be very damaging to the company.
The confusion.
The rapper later gives up the name and pays Lucasfilm an undisclosed sum.
All right, that was a $300 million infringement lawsuit in 1990, right?
Yeah, but they always, with stuff like this, they file the lawsuit to like some crazy amount, and then it's tactics. like pay us $25,000.
Yeah, so that would be $716 million in today's money.
Man, that's a lot of cassette tapes and iron-on transfers.
I had a cousin, not a great dude, right? Who was he was not into 2 Live Crew because he wasn't a great dude, but
boy, did he love a table dance.
And boy, did he, all he would tell me is he would be like, they stole that name from 2 Live Crew. And I'm like, no, they didn't. 2 Live Crew wasn't around when Star Wars came out. I might be 7, but I'm not an idiot.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're actually aware of Luke Skywalker.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I remember when 2 Live Crew was a thing, like like people were very upset about Two Live Crew.
Yeah, I never really got into like that at all. So, do you know why? Because it wasn't in skateboard videos. So, Two Live Crew was not in any skateboard videos. So, that was my
entryway to music,
lime wire of the day.
Right.
April 20th, Alex McGrindle, General Dodonna, dies at 78.
Man. Big ups to a real one. General Dodonna.
Why wasn't he beanied up on Hoth?
You know, I'm not quite sure. What was old General Dodonna up to? Isn't his name Jan Dodonna? Am I wrong about that? Is that his first name?
That's
Jan
right.
Dodonna? Yeah. I have that poster.
You've got it?
Yeah, I've got it signed by Billy D. Williams.
No way.
Yeah.
Original?
Yep.
Woof. I'll read it out to you then.
Huh.
Lawrence Noble, to honor the 10th anniversary of The Empire Strikes Back, an unused piece of artwork by Lawrence Noble, originally designed for the first Empire poster art campaign, is brought back and printed as a fan club exclusive. Now, as a poster, I would not use this poster in the first release of The Empire Strikes Back. It is just not exciting.
No, the actual poster for Empire Strikes Back is way better. The one they went with.
It's beautiful, but it looked great hanging on a wall in your house, or as a re-release poster, funnily enough. But it's just too stylized with the Hoth base, and
I do like the fact that the TIE bombers on this one, because I feel like it doesn't get a lot of play in posters and stuff.
Not canon though. It's Hoth, and
they weren't there.
You know, the TIE bomber, due to its extra weight, its engines would freeze in the Hoth climate. I read that in Galaxy Guide 14, Hoth expansion.
Whoa.
That sound like I knew what I was talking about?
You sure did, man. It sounded like you were talking about that grappling hook.
Ha! But yeah, if you're just on the pod, it's like a giant sort of illustrated Vader overlooking a beautiful, it's pretty much Tatooine but blue at night, and the ion cannon is in the background with
and
Luke redoing his classic saber lift.
Leia is leading Luke by the hand out onto the ice plains of Hoth, and he's just holding his lightsaber up in the air the whole time, which, fair enough, I would be doing.
Yeah, he's signaling to the Millennium Falcon that's flying over.
He's about to jump and cut that TIE bomber in half.
And they've got their orange lights on in the cockpit of the Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you're keen-eyed, you might spy the probe droid
peeking out from behind a rock, R2-D2 style.
That's right, special edition, boy. You know, I've got a rock from that canyon in my collection.
And that you put in front of an R2-D2, correct?
Well, actually, not at the moment, because Harry wanted to see him the other day, so he's out and about at the moment.
Which one is that? A sensor scope R2?
No, this is OG.
No scope. Okay.
Just basic. This is how we liked it back in 78, mate. Yeah.
Fair enough.
I like my protocol droids fading and my Astromech basic. And such and such. But yeah, sick poster, but probably best for the re-release. However, right, this is what makes me think. Hawes, speak to me, buddy. Talk to me about this. What happened to the lost art of selling a poster? Huh?
You mean like when you go into a store and they have a poster that you can buy in the store? It's not like a limited release online that you got to fight people for?
No, I think more limited release that you got to fight people for.
Okay.
But like,
because that goes on all the time still.
No, but I mean, like, you've got your poster, right? Or as they kids like to call it, key art.
I prefer one sheet.
Bloody oath. Here's the key art for our IP expo. Celebration poster. Come on.
Yeah.
Where's the romance? But like back in the day when like the special editions were coming out or the prequels, your Star Wars insider would be peddling the actual cinema poster. Two-sided with the reverse on the other side, because you know how those posters, like the classic movie poster was printed with the reverse on the other side. So when you put the light behind it, the colors, in the light box. Yeah. And so you used to be able to get all the teaser posters and stuff, and they'd have like 10,000 to peddle. It just seems like that's like now that's been replaced by handing out a little A3 poster
when you go to the movie. Yeah.
No, at the celebration panel.
Oh yeah. Hey man, now I'm a sucker for those. I like those celebration panel posters. I think they're good. I think so. Of the ones I have, I think they're mostly good. Now that I think about it, like, so I have the original Mandalorian one's real good. That's a good one.
Well, I've got one wall of Star Wars posters. That's what I've got to play with.
Right, so you got to be picky and choosy with it.
Yeah, so none of them make the grade. The Carrie Fisher one would be the one I'd put up.
Oh man,
I used to have that up. But yeah, just sell some posters. Come on, get out there.
I used to like when you would okay, say the Phantom Menace or Attack of Clones comes out, you go to look at the merch in Kmart or Walmart or wherever you're going, and next to the aisle is a big cardboard thing with like 6 or 7 different poster designs for the movie in there.
They still have that. I think in a lot of shops now it's just been replaced by, they have like a pre-packed box that they tear open the top and it turns into a little POP display, and all the posters are in there rolled, and then there's little postcard pictures of what posters are in there. I
haven't seen one of those in a while. That's interesting. Maybe I'm not looking in the right place.
I feel like maybe like the bigger Targets here still have the poster thing, like
in the collectibles area, because now Target has a toy section and a collectibles section.
Yeah,
you notice that?
Yeah, like where you sell the expensive Ninja Turtle toys and stuff,
and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but those ones, they're still around. That poster sort of company sort of thing. I see them now and then.
I guess that's Trends International that probably does those, isn't it?
Yeah. Maybe they're like, I'm thinking of seeing them in Australia. I don't know, but I feel like they're around.
I'm going to look next time I go to Target, because I've been hitting up the Target by my house like twice a week lately, trying to find that Phantom Menace set.
But those posters were, they were not as good.
No, they're not.
And they're a little bit smaller than like a traditional film poster. And obviously the paper's like totally different and stuff. So it was always like to get in, like on that cinema one was like, because it was quite expensive to order. And quite often they wouldn't send stuff to Australia. Back in the day, because of licensing, a lot of that Star Wars Insider stuff, they just wouldn't accept orders from Australia. But you couldn't subscribe. Oh, I think the only thing you could get was the Insider, but you couldn't get any product.
Any of the goodies that are listed for sale in there. That's weird.
It's not right, mate.
I guess that's I guess we still run into stuff like that today, which is why you can't just go to a store and buy SH Figure Arts Star Wars figures in the United States, right? Every time I go to a Barnes and Noble or even a Target now, I see SH Figure Arts for everything but Star Wars. And that's a licensing thing because of the scale.
Similar, I have got like an account through the shop to order like Bear Bricks
Okay, Kubrick's, right?
Yeah. And the Medicom toys. And so I get all the licensed stuff, whether it's like you get Marvel
Mm-hmm.
and you get Disney, but they release Star Wars ones in Japan, but they never.
Oh, you can't get them outside of Japan.
Yeah, they
like
never have. You're not allowed to wholesale them as export. So all the ones, if you ever see them, it's like they've been imported
Mm-hmm. You
out
know,
of
there's some lost bear bricks that I've occasionally almost pulled the trigger on here and there.
little Dharma bellies.
They've got
Jeez.
there's one it's honestly when I first saw it I was like, oh, that's kind of low effort, but now that I see it more, I think it's neat. So the bear brick, I can't remember the scales, but it's a bigger one, completely blacked out, but with the lost logo like diagonal across its belly, like the logo when it's
Yeah.
spinning when it comes up. Sick.
Nice. There's actually a shop just near us that has like all the big ones, so like the 2.5 foot ones. They're 1,000% bear bricks,
Okay.
and they've got like a wall of them. So there's maybe like 50, and so me and Harry go through and review them all. Like every couple, we'll go in there
Nice.
and he picks which ones. Yeah, I'd have that one, that one, that one, and yeah, he actually recognized, which is kind of see what kids do. This is a trick to kids, Hawes.
Okay.
They start out just useless.
Okay.
Like they like soil themselves. They can't talk and stuff.
Sounds a lot like me.
So they really lower your expectations. So as they learn basic human skills, you're just like, oh my God, genius.
Right.
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 Because they've set the bar and you grade on a curve as a parent. But 5-year-old Harry, we're in the bear brick shop and there's all like SpongeBob and Batman and Spider-Man and Superman, a lot of men. And there's a bear brick that's got an all-over print, like this. Somehow they've done it of the Mona Lisa, right?
Okay.
So it goes all around the vinyl and stuff. And he goes, I like this one with the lady, the Mona Lisa. And I just went, what?
Where did you learn about the Mona Lisa, little dude? That's awesome.
He said he doesn't remember where he learned it. And he goes, I just learned it myself.
Good for you, man. That's awesome.
It's not bad.
The Mona Lisa.
Shall we go back to the future, Hawes?
I think it's your turn to pick. I think I picked a page number last time.
All right. So, I'll save the sizzle for next episode. Oh yeah.
Good stuff next episode.
No. I did my Back to the Future.
Okay. What do we got here?
We are. What was the little game? I'd read out the page number and you'd try to guess the year.
Yeah. What's the page? Okay. What page number did we start on, and what one did you skip to?
Oh, I don't know what I.
Okay.
Okay. That sort of makes sense.
Yeah. So I can try to. You know what I mean? Figure it out based on.
All right. We're on 148.
148, and you skip to
301.
So 153 pages. You're in 2003. Close.
2009.
Oh, 6 years off, just like old Uncle George when he was talking about when those new Star Wars movies were coming.
It's like poetry, it rhymes, baby. But we're in May of 2009, and it's got the release of these. How do you say these games? They're these ball games. Pachinko.
Okay.
So it's the release of Star Wars Pachinko in Japan. So there's the art, and then there's the
machine.
And it's this bizarre ball game that I could not work out how you'd play it. But I have got... Where is it? I have got that, like this amazing art of of that game. Wait there.
Oh, sick. That's cool. I in my online collectible window shopping, I've come across that machine for sale once, and I've come across a pachinko machine that's Evangelion, which was one of my favorite anime, versus Godzilla. And both of them were US sellers somehow.
I cannot find it in the immediate time. I think I pulled it down to put it back up. But I've got a little plastic shelf talker from one of the arcades.
That's cool.
And it's got that that art,
that chibi art.
Yeah, which is just like at the time, like this is pre Funko Pop.
Yep.
And stuff. So that like big headed
chibi
animated
that's what
style.
It's called.
Oh, nice. The I was like, just to have the picture of it to bring back and just go, look how cool this art is. And it's on this plastic, like it's like POP.
You know what's cool about pachinko, or what's interesting about it is, so it is essentially gambling, right? You're buying pachinko balls to put in the machine and you're hoping to win more pachinko balls.
I've got no idea what was happening.
But they can't, the way they get around it being quote unquote gambling is you can get a ticket for how many pachinko balls you've won and take it to another shop, usually next door or across the street, and they'll cash that ticket into cash for you.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, good mission, Hawes.
Yeah.
I've checked out the second half of 1990. Yeah, a lot of tangents coming next episode.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. That's what I like to hear.
It's highlighted by the release of Lucasfilm Games' The Secrets of Monkey Island.
I've got plenty of time. I love that game, Steele. I love Secrets of Monkey Island. What a great series.
But apropos to the era, even the cover of the Lucasfilm fan club, it's a non-Star Wars cover. So
oh, what is it? You know what? Don't spoil it for me. We'll find out next time.
I would bet $300 you couldn't guess it in 10 shots.
In 10 shots, you don't think I could guess it?
No.
Let's see next week.
No, you can't. You got to do it now.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair, because then we sowed the seed of doubt of whether I went and looked it up. Okay, so it's not going to be The Secret of Monkey Island for sure.
No, is that a shot? That's not a shot. You didn't actually guess that.
No.
Okay.
I was, Loom.
No.
Oh,
look, I got a thumbs up. It's actually a thumbs down.
Ghostbusters 2. Willow.
No.
Yeah, I'm not going to be. You're right. I'm not going to be able to get this. John Williams.
No.
Oh, it's not Star Wars related, you said. It wouldn't be Young Indiana Jones. It wouldn't be the Temple. It wouldn't be Last Crusade is somewhere around there, but it's not that. Back to the Future 2.
No.
Is it a movie?
That you don't get to ask any other questions.
Fair. That's fair.
We're halfway. $300.
Super Mario Brothers, the movie.
Oh, epic guess, but no.
Okay. Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
No. Good guess, though.
Apocalypse Now.
Oh, dude, no.
I'm shooting now, man.
Man, that's the gritty fan club.
Muppets.
No. One more.
Xanadu. Shooting at the. It's way before 1990.
I saw Xanadu in the cinema before I saw Star Wars.
I don't know, man. This is really throwing me.
I thought Olivia Newton-John was actually going to be there. It's very disappointing.
Right? I remember you telling us that.
Maniac Mansion.
bro. I almost guessed that. That's another LucasArts game. I almost guessed that, but I didn't because Monkey Island was in there too. I didn't think it would be doubled up. Oh my goodness. Day of the Tentacle, Maniac Mansion and Day of the Tentacle, both really good games.
I'll take your word for it, Hawes. But that's what you got to look forward to on the next when we're back under the protection of the Patreon support network. I don't know.
Yeah, and those Patreon only episodes, they get wild. You guys wouldn't believe what's going on those.
They do get wild. Oh, the episode after though,
1991 is when it really starts cooking.
Kicking. We're back into it then. Hawes Blue Harvest podcast every Friday or so. I think I'll be doing another night live stream on Friday or Saturday night. I've just got to work out the best. Definitely, I'm going to do this one this week, but I just have to work out the
best day and time.
Yes, for the I know the best time. I just got to work out the best day to do it at that time.
I should be there. I'll try to remember this one this time.
You're all good. Oh yeah, and join the Patreon to hear all the other episodes. Either of our Patrons. It's all good.
Exactly.
May that force be with you.
See you guys.